We're live.
We're live.
Sup, everybody that's live. We got a couple people in here. We got Fiddles. Seems like a new name. Fiddles.
Fiddles?
I don't recognize that. First one in here. B Newt, regular. Abe. K Strohs. B Newt, I was just thinking while making coffee that this would be a good morning for a morning. Nice. Steve Carr's here. Austin Cuck. This is my first live morning. I usually listen on Spotify on my drive home. Thanks, Austin. D Shap, Steve Carr, T Nerb, Sippin' Mead. Sippin' Mead's usually one of the first. Got beat by like 10 people today, Sippin' Meads. Slippin' Mead, more like.
Ah,
I can't laugh. I don't have enough breath. Um, Good morning. I don't have a song. What are you
Sipping
laughing
meat's
at?
high. He's high. That's why. Or she.
Um, that's what they said. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm high. Okay.
Yeah. It's a 10-person delay when you're high.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I am high on like the flu, post flu sickness. I'm not really post flu, but I'm probably end of the third quarter flu. Hey, the flu that I got is no joke. Maybe the worst Christmas week ever, which is a bummer. Worked so hard to have this week free. So me and Katie could just hang out and chill. All we want to do is just hang out and chill. And we got to hang out and chill, but we're like incredibly sick. Had to send James to my parents' house 3 days in a row. So that was not fun. The flu
Yes.
sucks. Had a
Uh,
headache and chills the first day. And then I lost the headache but kept the chills. And then I lost both and I thought I was good. So I started like I I didn't really do anything. All I did was kind of just like slack people on the couch and I cleaned the house a little bit. And then that night I just went way back to being sick. So yesterday we did nothing. Katie's a day behind me, but we're hanging on to James today, not sending him to my mom's because that's sad. We missed him.
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, a lot of tears and like screaming. I'm like, fuck, this sucks.
From you.
Me and Katie is
Right.
frustrated. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
On Christmas Day, we opened presents, me, Katie, and James. And we were supposed to go to my aunt's for a Christmas like celebration, and we were not feeling good at all. So we took a nap, and we thought the nap would like kick it, and we were still gonna go, and we realized we couldn't. By that point, that everyone else had left, so otherwise we would have asked them to take James. So Christmas Day, we rotated, like, okay, you go sleep for an hour, and I'll watch James for an hour. And watching James was like miserable because we were sick and he was running around.
Right.
And you're like this so we rotated every hour, which didn't really help us at all. Anyway, so we were supposed to do morning on Tuesday and I kept pushing it on you. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
This is going to be the
All good.
most I've talked in an hour window since the 24th.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it does for me.
Probably before that. What'd you do on the 24th?
Well, we went to my sister's for Christmas Eve and did like family presents and stuff. I probably didn't talk an hour straight.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be like, these are usually 80+% you. So
It's
for
true.
taking 1 hour chunk, this is probably your most in a while.
Yeah. So hopefully it goes good. Good news is I got a tech deck in front of me.
House phone? Do you want me to answer that?
Your house phone's ringing?
Grandparents' house phone, yeah.
Nice. Where your grandparents live? New Jersey?
No, outside of Philly.
Wow. Did you get a haircut? Looks like you got a haircut.
I did. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so I went like they live within like half an hour of like my hometown. So I've been at my grandparents this whole time. We moved out of my hometown house. So I've been at my grandparents this whole time, but I have to go back to the hometown for the barber because I trust him. And Rob Sirocco says mute me on Zoom, but then I don't know how you're going to be able to hear me. People
Because
in
you're
the
coming,
chat saying bad echo.
because you're coming through. Oh wait,
Do you have headphones?
maybe when you're talking, you talk right now.
Talking, because I'm coming through on my phone and probably your computer. You're going to mute yourself every time I speak. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Otherwise you could just do a pair of headphones if they're sitting there. But I went back to my barber at home since I haven't had the best of luck with Jersey City barbers as of recent. But it's good stuff. And there's a house phone, so didn't expect, forgot those were a thing until this week.
I wonder who still calls the house phone. We had a house phone in college, and we would just
Oh,
use it to call people. It was pretty like and we would invite people to parties on our random number. I would just sit there and they would give me a number from their cell phone, and then I would call. I probably said this a bunch. We would play a game where they would give me a phone number from my cell phone. I would call them on our landline of our college house, and I'd have to talk to them long enough to figure out who it was.
right.
And it could be any number in my phone. Um. Anyway, today before I sat down here, showered and then kind of started going like panicky crazy with like, all right, I'm working again. I was supposed to get, I was supposed to have a ton of little tasks I was going to get done along the way this week while having a light week. But what's happened is I didn't do anything. So now all those little tasks are built up to, and I don't want to do a lot today because I don't want to go back to being sick. So today and tomorrow or the weekend, I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out like, wait, what was everything I needed to do? And I just like before we went live, I just texted Courtney, my sister, who's our director of sales and helping me with hiring. Texted Jake because we're hiring some roles. Um,
Speaking of hiring, I don't,
yes.
there's like a specific role that you, Sam, and I have been working on. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
The second part of that was very good again.
Oh, that came through.
Yeah.
We're trying to hire someone to help me with breakdowns for the first time, which is does my voice sound weird to you, or I just haven't heard myself talk in a while.
Sounds normal to me.
All right. Well,
How's my voice?
good.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't have my headphones. Otherwise, I'd put them in.
That's okay.
I have to hide them from James because his favorite thing is AirPods. So every time I wake him up in the morning, he'll go into our bedroom, and then the first thing he'll do is one, he'll say hi to Katie, which is very cute, and then he'll crawl off the bed, walk to my side, open up my bedside drawer, and look for my AirPods. And I'll just play with them. And I have two pairs, and he just plays with them forever. So I have to hide them from him. So sometimes I forget to grab them because I hide them from him. And then he opens up my drawer next to my bed. And the last two mornings, I can't figure this out. I asked Katie to help me today. He just scours in there for whatever's in there, and there's loose change. And he hands me the change, and I just have it in my hand. And then I close my hand, and then he cries, and then he gives me the sign for more, which is when he bangs his fist together, which is like more, or I want that. And I don't know what he wants. I like, do you want the coin back?
Right.
What am I supposed to do? I can't. 0 for 2 on figuring out what he wants me to do with the coins. So if anyone's got any guesses, I'd be super interested to figure it out.
Maybe he just wants to see it.
Maybe. Could be. So anyway, what should we start with? I want to take the calendar that I made.
Yeah.
So I've made a whole new system, and for people that have watched, I think a lot of the people that watch the vlog and this is like
Probably some overlap.
yeah, some overlap there. So so I talked about it in the vlog. I went in, we did an editing session with one inning league editors, the warehouse editors, trying to just, it's been so jumbled that they're putting themselves through such a ringer of kind of like turmoil. And I feel bad because by the end of projects or by like publish date, they're like stressed out and they've been going forever and they've been churning. And I'm trying to figure a way to help them so it doesn't have to feel like that. I think I kind of established a better rhythm. We're really going to find out on next week, Tuesday
Yep.
through Friday, if it works, which
Yep.
it should. But biggest thing is trying to figure out how to present it to them. So I had it in a really bad way, which I knew was bad, on a Google sheet, and I just changed it into a calendar view, which you voted yes, right? You liked
Yep.
that?
No, this is beautiful. I also like the strike through because I'm assuming that the editors are going to be striking it through, and that's like uh positive reinforcement, right? Like if you check something off of a to-do list. So that's good. Plus this just looks visually pleasing. So yeah, I'd vote for this again.
Well, hold on, this mute. Well, what I want to do is have this calendar printed out on how I print everything out on those posters from Walgreens because it
Yeah.
costs like $2.
Yeah.
We should have this printed out and put it up in the office, even in the quiet room, which can become the editing room, so they can strike it through themselves with like a marker.
Yep.
And
That's
also just everyone can see it because a lot of times people just don't open these sheets and then they don't see it. But this is like every single day. There's two tasks. There's two things that need to get done. Like I think Tuesdays and Wednesdays are loaded. I tried to go lighter on the other days, but I also Rob had how long each game is from the one inning league. So I was able to go refinagle it because one of the later games is like 18 minutes and then game 9 is 40 minutes. Don't remember this if you don't want to be spoiled. And so I was like, all right, I'll give you 2 sessions on game 9, but only one. So I just really redid this yesterday. That's kind of what I did on the couch. It's the only work I've done. So we should
nice.
print that. We should print that out and then have them strike through it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Sam and I were gonna print our initial plan before you had made this was to print that other one that like the floorball one that you had made and like have people cross through that. But this is way easier than that.
I I turned your volume down
Oh, you
on
turn
my
my volume
laptop.
down. Right.
Now let's see if it's still a terrible echo with your volume down,
Okay, so
and
we'll
I
do a
don't have
little
to mute
test run.
amp app. Yeah, so
Right.
just
Yeah.
do the alphabet, and everyone in the chat will say how bad it is.
Okay, ready. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, thank God Tom A said something. We get to the
Yeah,
end and
I thought they
nobody
were gonna
said
make you.
anything.
I thought they were gonna make you double it up.
Yeah, that's on them. That would have been funny.
Still echo, but better. Well, I can go one quieter, but I'm gonna be all struggling to hear you.
uh
um,
I think
someone
it's
in the chat
okay.
said Brock Taylor said, "Have you guys struggled in the hiring process because your potential hiring pool is strictly New York City based?" No, no, not at all. I mean, if anything, it's very annoying because people try to people apply, and then we say New York City based, and then we get on the first call and they say, "Well, actually, I live in Nashville, but I was hoping that you could just do it remote." And we're like, "No, sorry," and then move on. And then we're like scared of even putting job offers out there now because we have to waste so much time with people who think it's like a joke.
The New York City part's a joke, yeah.
The New York City part's a joke, yeah, which is I don't know, like a hair pulling struggle for us right now. Like,
Hmm.
we're trying to find a company that will screen people. And we talked to them and they're like, well, you just say New York City based and then they won't apply. And we're like, no, been 3 years. That's never
Yeah.
once worked. People
Right.
just lie, say they are New York City based, and then think they can, like, it's like a sales position and they can just bullshit their way through on the phone. And then we're like, no, sorry, bye. No, sorry, bye. No. And it's a pain. New York City is like the biggest pool of hiring. So it wouldn't be a that would not be a problem. Like, there's other media companies that are based in that I've been, like, chatting with, just like back and forth, based in other cities, and they have a real struggle because if they're looking for people in media, they don't have a huge pool. Like, there's New York City's you couldn't ask for a larger pool in the world, I don't think.
Mm. Yeah, probably it's up there.
LA.
US, yeah, New York's definitely the biggest.
So no, um, anything like the pool's too deep, and we need people to help wade through it in the early stages. So, um, yeah, let's see. You guys hiring interns? We'll probably be doing some interns. I don't know. I'm not part of that anymore, so I won't even speak on it. Yes, there's going to be interns, but I don't know the process or anything. Um, a lot of people assume companies have remote editing capabilities. Yeah, but we edit in groups, and culture is so important to us. And and yeah, we're too young of a company, and we're too culture first to have just remote positions here and there, and we're we're too young in structure and processes because we've just been shooting from the hip. And maybe in 5 years, when we have like a C-suite hired out, and there's like a rinse and repeat structure and the process and the reporting system, and then remote hires. But right now, a lot of the people that are remote, it's a struggle because they're out of the loop a lot. Because we move too fast to, like, I don't have I hate Zoom meetings. They're just like the biggest waste of time for everyone now because there's so much to do that basically a Zoom meeting when you're in the office is a 2-minute drive-by conversation, which otherwise is a 20-minute, 30-minute Zoom where you go, "Hi, how are you? How are you? Did you hear that?" Or otherwise, I just walk past Maddie and I'm like, "Hey, what's the status of this? I was thinking this." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and then we're done. So we're just too young to have too many remote, especially editing, because then you have to share the project, and instead of just calling someone over and they watch it over your shoulder, you put it on a screen and you watch it together and go through edits. They have to export it, send it to you. You have to watch it, take notes, timestamp your notes, send it back to them. Then they have to export again. What about this? Instead, they just put it on a laptop, call you over, you do your notes in live time. They make the corrections the next 30 minutes after that. Then you watch it again, and it's done. So remote editing is actually the one position where I really am not bending at all because of that process, because that just slows everyone down when you have to export a draft. And even if we do that, it's still sometimes that has to happen if I'm home or I just want it. But mostly now, Maddie and everyone, we just watch it in the stream lounge and make corrections and stuff.
Yep.
So
Did you want to speak to anything specific with this schedule, like behind the scenes meeting wise between you and I? Um,
well,
or
we need to figure out this schedule. Oh, um, just kind of the whole concept of having sessions, like every day should have a 9 to 1 o'clock session and then a 1 to 5 o'clock session with lunch somewhere. Like,
yeah,
I don't think people are going to be that's 4 hours and 4 hours, right? So that's a normal work day, but I don't think people are going to be the tasks that we're asking them to get done in that 4 hour window aren't 4 hour long tasks. So it's like break for lunch, but by 1 o'clock, you have to be able to pass the hard drive to the next person. Otherwise, you slow down the whole process.
Yep.
But the concept of each day being two different sessions, I want all our editors to feel that. So I want us to make a backlog of um, edits and and projects so that they're not worried about having nothing on their to-do list.
Yeah.
I don't,
That's
to be honest, I don't understand that thought process at all,
yeah.
but I've heard it now from a
Hmm.
couple of our employees that they'd work slow on things because they'd rather take a long time to get something done. They think that's a better look than not having anything to do.
Yes.
It doesn't compute with my brain in the
Yeah.
slightest, but that's just not how I'm wired. So, and everyone that is like grown with the company is like, get it done and ask for more. But
Yeah.
if that's the case, then it's up to us to manage it and have a backlog. And I used to have these on the wall in the Bronx office. I don't know if anyone ever did them, but now that we're really trying to say like every session, every day should have two sessions of like tasks being completed. We should put stuff on that back catalog. Like the Coach Cone game should be there. The training sessions, like the upcoming training sessions, like this is what's about. Like we should get a whiteboard and we should have what's about to come up.
Yep.
Like what's about to come. Like with we're going to film um, we're doing another code name soon,
Yep.
another challenger series, more training sessions.
Yep.
So like we should have those on the whiteboard and maybe they're not ready yet, but then we should also say like, all right, well, let's make montages for shit. Like go find every single Estonia guess from GeoGuessr.
Hmm.
Just take the GeoGuessrs, run them through a transcriptor, and then Command F Estonia, and then make a montage of all our like beautiful Estonia guesses. Like tasks like that should be
Yeah.
just a stockpile, like a boneyard,
Yeah.
so that people don't fear having nothing to do, like a never ending, like you can go back in Jomboy Jake radios and make montages from there, or talk, probably the bigger talking baseball, talking Yanks, the best Burns, or on this day. So I think me, you, Sam, or you and Sam should make and have it on a whiteboard so it's in front of everyone at all times.
Yes. No, for sure. Um, I think it was like last Wednesday, Jake and I had a similar discussion. And then that's definitely like the plan is to do that. A whiteboard where I want to list out what people are actively working on. And that also is like, oh, I'll just use myself, but like, oh, Maddie's doing 5 videos right now, and Sam is doing one. Then it's like Sam now feels like, oh, let me like figure out how to piece something else together. So like seeing it on the board that way, but then yes, also having the backlog at the bottom to know if Sam wants to fill more projects, then she knows like here's 3 things that I can grab from this backlog, etc.
Yeah. Having the whiteboard will help, and having just and then we'll just have to think of a lot of ideas. But montages of this, montages of that. I mean, we got ice. Like what we got ice will have. They need help editing every now. I know Mitch is helping, but they'll need help. But yeah, I'm going to talk with Diversa because every week I get, or every month, no, every week he sends me like a content report,
Yeah.
and we're gonna on the TV in the office. I want to have it as the screensaver, and I want it to be like top performing YouTube videos from last month, because that's the best way to do it, is over 30 days. That's like what advertisers care about, and that's what we sell is 30-day views.
Mm-hmm.
And then people get to be like applauded. Like, I don't know if the company understands how fucking awesome Jolly's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that should be something where people are like, damn, Jolly,
Right.
you have the top video again. Or like We Got Ice. Been a big competition between the two of them. Let me see. So this is, I have it open in front of me. I want to go back to page 1. What? Go to page 1, sucker.
Sucker.
Let's see. Video only content report, week of November 21st, 2022. Top video.
You want me to
Jolly
guess?
Olive.
Oh,
Everything to know about Kode Senga.
right.
Second most viewed video. Stats that exist. That's a Jolly. He took over that for me. They played for the Mets and the Yanks. Then Warehouse Games, us versus McFlurry Power. Then We Got Ice. Then Warehouse Games. So that was the week of November 21st. Yeah, because that was a month ago. So this stuff I wanted to start being public. And then
for sure.
And then also, like you were saying, is kind of an output.
Yes.
Like and breakdowns aren't part of that, but I want, if we can do Fun Sport Friday, like that will be part of that. But kind of like, oh, Jolly published 8 videos last week.
Yep.
You got to publish this. Let me publish 20.
Mm-hmm.
That would be that stuff. Just, it's a way to keep everybody moving and seeing like, oh, wow, you did a lot. Like Dan Rourke, how many videos does Dan Rourke publish a week?
10,
15. Like he edits a ton. So yeah, stuff like that we'll start putting up there, just so everyone can kind of see what everyone else is working on and part of it. And the change now starting next week. What?
House phone.
Nice.
I don't know if you can hear that or not. I assume yes.
No.
Oh.
Well, I can hear it now.
Yeah, that's when it says who's calling. All right, it's done.
And what was I gonna say? I don't know. Forget. But yes, that'd be good. That's like what you're saying too. Like for the editors, we can have that as well.
Yep, for sure.
I do. I'm going to be very disappointed if we don't get all the 1 inning league games edited before we publish them.
There's no way, based on the schedule that you made, if that happened, I would be dumbfounded.
I know, but I'd be really upset because for Blitzball Battle 2, I wanted to be able to get them to merch. So like my big example was when we have the merch shelf on YouTube now, right? When Nikki hit the walk-off versus Trev and he's screaming, how bad it. I said it the whole pre-production. I said, I want a shirt, a how about it shirt with Nikki screaming it in Love Ya's colors on the merch shelf. And we update it as soon as 5 hours after that game ends. But it never happened because we couldn't get the footage to the social media team, yet alone the merch team, in time.
Yep.
So that's why I really, really hope we get ahead of it. I really, really hope we do. Sound like the end of In Bruges. I really, really hoped I wouldn't die. Have you seen In Bruges with Colin Farrell?
No, I have not.
Well, I just said the last line of the movie.
Sam slacked me at the same time, so I didn't really hear what you said.
What did Sam slack you? Can you share that?
I think we should be good to use the whiteboard we have in the office that was in the conference room, but was then moved to Andrew's office.
And now it's in the stream lounge because I used it for the editing session on whatever.
Gotcha.
And there's some stuff on there. You can take a picture of that, I guess. I basically, because there's some stuff on there that no one was taking notes. Not that I asked them to,
Yeah.
but I want to put it. Um, should we just make the quiet room like the 1 inning league editing room for now?
Yeah. And then moving forward, it should just remain as like the editor's room. So I don't know what you put on the whiteboard, but like let's print out like a shortcut poster of like 10 most vital shortcuts that if you're not doing these, you're wasting your time like
Yeah,
crazy.
I like
Put that
that.
on the wall.
Write that down right now. I'm
I'm
gonna forget it.
texting it to Sam.
Premiere shortcut poster should go in there, and we can make them. Okay, and then what I said, how to what I said was when you edit these 1 inning leagues, you have to you have to break everything down to bite-sized chunks is basically how I edit, right? So every time you go through a pass, it should be very singular focused. And I said when you're doing the story, which is a lot of the 1 inning league because we're mic'd up, each at bat edit as its own story. So you
Yeah.
weren't in there with me, but I got one at bat. Okay, K-Max walking to the plate. That's the start of the at bat. And then I didn't even look at what was in between it. I just went to the end. Okay, what's the end? Okay, he grounds out. All right, so the end of the ground out. And then I pushed everything else to the way to the right. And I was like, okay, so I'm just editing this story right now. It's 2 minutes long. It's K-Max at bat.
Yep.
All right, you need an establishing shot. You need to show him walking to, because this is sometimes where when you watch the games, they feel like that YouTube jump cut, which I hate. I don't like that. Like you can tidy things up to make it have better pace, but I don't want it to be foreign. Like every game, they show the batter walking to the plate, and then his stats are under him, and it
Yep.
just kind of like keeps you in the rhythm of the story.
Yes.
So it on that whiteboard it says like establishing shot, boom, and then I said okay, and then you need the since the batter and the pitcher are mic'd up, obviously you need that's two um, narrators telling the story. And then you have the crowd, and that's the conduit for the audience and also the play-by-play. Since we don't have Rose doing the announcing, the crowd cheering really loud or reacting like a really nice pitch, and you hear like Nikki in the audience be like, "Whoa!" That's supplemental for the booth.
Yep.
They're doing the conduit for the audience of reacting to what's happening. Same with Canobio was great at this in game one. Is he was like, oh, there's a big at bat here, like as he's sitting in the sideline or when he's standing behind the pitcher, like 2-1 now, let's go. I'm like, you can't cut that out. They're the narrator.
Right.
So I had that like written down on the whiteboard. So we need that. Basically, that's what I'm trying to cross the board is just make it into tiny stories. I used to hate when people use the word story in that way. Like I applied to be an editor at GoPro and they were like, well, we really just care about storytelling. I think I was too young and like annoyed. What does that mean? That means nothing. Because they showed me this video of a baby like falling asleep and then fighting sleep and then fighting sleep and then finally falling asleep. And they're like, it tells a full story. And I was like, what? 1 minute video of a baby. But now I kind of get it. And I kind of agree with it. I think I was just a young, too cynical.
Right.
Anyway, but yes, the editor's room. All that stuff should be on the walls as well as the schedule. I like that idea.
Okay. Sam
There's a
and
bunch
I
of
are on it.
monitors in there, right?
What?
There's a bunch of monitors in there, right?
Yeah, they're kind of shitty, I think, but there should be 4 in there.
Well, Prizeman has a nice one. We can move that one in there.
Yeah, that we should do that because then that also frees up a desk.
Why don't we Slack the group right now and say, for the month of January, that room's going to become the warehouse editor's room.
Yeah, that works for me. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, you say it.
All right, I'll say it.
All right, let's see what anyone's saying in the chat. Seeing how much other people are getting done would also make it a friendly competition too. Everyone still want to make the leaderboard. Rob, Rob said that In Bruges is one of his favorite movies. So I wonder if he
Baraka.
liked, yeah, unless it's Rourke, but I don't know way that
And
it's one of Rourke's favorite movies.
yeah,
He's
definitely
just too
Rob.
young. But I wonder if Rob has seen Banshees of Inisherin yet. Uh, Nate Steele says that he dislikes Slack. Well, he dislikes how his coworkers use Slack. They've turned it into a way to make people
Preach.
work all hours of the night. Not a fan.
Oh,
You can turn it off, right? You can say like I'm away.
yeah, you could do that and like turn the notifications off, but then I guess the expectation is still there. I don't like Slack because every conversation that we have is never in a thread, and like all of them should be threads so that you don't get notified unless you're a part of the thread. But we just use it as like we start new threads every time somebody messages something. But
What do you mean? Like not a channel, just like it's a group chat.
like yes, we have it as group chats, whereas like my last job, we had something similar, different service. It just looked better visually, but like your message today in the 1 inning league, can everyone send their projected update for the end of today? Everybody would reply in a thread to this and be like, yes, I can. No, I cannot because da da da. So I get one notification from you, and if I'm like a part of that conversation, then I'm like opt in by responding in the thread. But like for me, I don't have anything to really say there. So like I'm not then getting notified every time somebody says yes.
We people could respond in the thread. We just don't like have that etiquette set.
Yeah. No. And it's really not
But
that I don't care. I don't
you
know if other
have
people
the
care.
you have the program on your computer.
Yeah.
See, that's probably why I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that because then it makes my computer ding. And my computer dings, my innate reaction is to punch my computer screen.
Yeah.
If my computer makes a noise, same with my phone. If my computer or my phone start making a noise at me,
Right.
I get real mad. Like that's not how this relationship works. I look at you when I want. You don't get to get my attention, which is kind of
Yes.
like the 100% opposite of how other people use their computers
Yes.
and phones. My laptops or phones never make noise. Mostly
That's
because I'm
nice.
recording like if I'm recording a breakdown. The only thing that will happen is a FaceTime, and oh man, do I get mad. If I'm recording a breakdown or I'm screen recording something for a breakdown, and someone FaceTimes me, it's usually just Katie, and oh,
Right.
you just ruined this whole take.
Right. Right.
So people are always shocked I don't have the actual like application for Slack. I just use the web browser. So if I don't have Chrome open or a tab open, there's no noises coming my way. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that would help you.
Personally, like I don't even mind like this 1 inning league chat, like that makes sense. I don't mind like seeing how everybody's doing, but like the in-office crew, if it's like something that has nothing to do with me, like yeah, maybe I should just mute like certain chats. But I also don't really mind.
Okay. Slack's a
Um,
big part of like our whole company is on Slack.
yeah.
Um let's see. Thread within a channel is definitely more organized. Do you have access to all the video files from home, or how much storage do you carry with you? We're trying to work on a system or icon. I don't know where
Yeah.
we're at with that. I'd love to have a system where everyone can pull files from a shared network. That's a big IT hire that's been pushed and pushed. And I think now it's like, well, I don't think we can push this anymore. So right now, it's a lot of hard drives.
Yes. A lot of hard drives.
And right now, because everyone has been working home from home this week, we had to like organize the hard drives so that everyone could take with them what they needed, which actually wasn't that bad.
Speaking of hard drives,
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Dating Naked.
Yeah.
Um, which out of context sounds like it's completely unrelated, but I'm my one thought was, is it better for me to cut that so that there's never 7 straight seconds? Or is it better to have you and Jake watch the full thing and then cut it where that then makes sense based on how you guys reacted?
Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. I think
Hey,
I'm
Nick
gonna
Steele's in the chat, and they just had another baby, so we have to clap for that
oh yeah.
and say congratulations, congrats to Nate. That's awesome, real cute. Uh, Little family's growing, but
I think I'm gonna cut the first one so that there's never 7 seconds straight. I was planning on doing that when I first watched it, but they use a ton of J cuts. So I was like, fuck, like this is harder than I like initially expected because the audio gets messed up, but I'll see.
so what Maddie's talking about is we're running out of baggage. Actually, we filmed all season 1 of Baggage now. It hasn't been released. We don't have the rights to season 2. We'll see if they want to give it to us. I really don't think they're going to want to give it to us, nor is it like a responsible decision because we definitely lost money on season 1. But it was
We kind of knew
fun.
that. We knew that.
I knew that. I thought we would be able to maybe break even, but I don't think we did. Um, and there's other shows anyway that are fun that we can do. Like, I look back on when we did Take Me Out and it was good. But the problem is we can't do it we can't do it how we do it where we just sit and watch the full show because then we're at a risk of copyright and all that. I got every single episode of Dating Naked and I gave it to Maddie and I said, hey, maybe you can dice these up how other channels do reaction shows. Like there's channels out there that literally just watch a full movie and barely react and they get so many views. It was very weird to me. But Jake and I can do something like that. Um, so Maddie's just like a creep out there. He's got a hard drive full of Dating Naked episodes.
Yep.
Dude, are you planning on like just getting rid of storylines? Because that's the other way you can do it. Like instead of
Yes.
every episode of I like skim through the first one. Every episode has like two daters and they go on like 3 dates each.
Yep.
You can just
Yeah.
raid one of them, right?
Yeah.
Just a couple of them, right?
Yep. My plan was to do that. It's also like just figuring out what the 2 to 3 main storylines are that can carry the whole episode. And then like everything else is fine to be the ones that get cut.
They put them in some weird scenarios. Like there was one
Oh,
thumbnail where they were like on a surfboard and the guy's like face is in her ass.
yeah. Oh,
They're like
yeah.
paddling together.
Oh, it's the first episode was weird.
Super weird.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other idea that I had for Jake and I to do on Jomboy Jake TV in replacement of watching Baggage. I don't even know if this is maybe this has been done before. Maybe it's not a good idea, but that where you guys find a random scene from an old show
Right.
that's somewhat bizarre. Like my example was a Seventh Heaven scene.
Yeah.
And Jake and I have to watch it and then build the episode around that like 1 minute scene. Like just like guess
Right.
what's the context around this bizarre clip. I keep thinking like old episodes of like Bonanza or
Right.
some like silly westerns where they're just like jarringly weird dialogue and scenes, and then Jake and I are like, all right, hold up, that guy's the bad guy, and I'm like, no, I don't know, I think
Right.
that guy
Yeah.
is actually the protagonist,
Yeah.
and she is his daughter, and Jake's like, no, that's not his daughter, that's his wife, and
Yeah.
we're like figuring out the plot of this episode, and then you or Zach would just like read the IMDb like 3 line like write up of what happened in that episode.
Right.
We'd figure it out. Like there's some random obviously we know Baywatch, but scenes. I do think that would be a fun exercise. I don't know how entertaining it would be.
I think to make it more entertaining, you'd have to then let the scene play. It would be like America's Funniest Home Videos, where like they play the clip and then before the funny thing happens, you vote. It's like A, B, or C. What do you think is going to be funny? And then they let the clip play. We would have to do
Yeah.
something like that, but we'd then have to then edit it so that it's 7 seconds after that again.
Yeah, or Jake and I can just pause it, or like whoever's like playing it can just you can just put like black spaces in and then hit pause when the black comes up or something like that.
Yeah.
Fail says it's a good idea. Did the Jomboy Yule Log make a lot of money? I'm on hour 145. Did any what were the views on that? That cracked me
Decent.
up. And some of the one of the comments cracked me up. We had I think that was the same day I posted the World Cup video. But before
Right.
I completely change topics, the only problem with that idea that I have is someone needs to curate all the clips.
Yeah.
So that could be on the whiteboard of back catalog,
Yep.
Maddie. Because like you and Zach have a lot on your plate, and Zach's about to have a ton on his plate with
Yep.
Blitzball and Ultimate Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be on there. Like build old shows for Jomboy JTV.
Yep.
Um, because I have to be completely blind. I can't prep that.
Mm-mm. For sure.
But I think it is a funny concept to do. Ooh. Ooh. Watching Baggage just got posted 22 minutes ago. And I'm wearing that new sweater. I wore it in this episode that we're filming. It just got released on Jomboy TV, the new Jomboy Media sweater. And I just
Yeah.
bought it. I
Right.
love it. I like the new ones that Kenny made. They're like understated. They're not like these. I like the one I'm wearing right now, which is the big Talkin baseball logo. But I
Yep.
like the just kind of like the understated ones as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Here's Yankees Avenue also just posted 23 minutes ago. 5 worst Yankee free agent signings of all time.
nice.
A-Rod's in the thumbnail.
Well, the second time when he opted out
I don't know.
could be. What was I
We were going to
pivoting
talk
to?
about Yule Log.
Oh, the Yule Log, man. I think that was all Jeff's idea, right?
I think it was a mixture of Jeff and Zach.
Okay, well that makes sense. But it's a funny idea.
Yeah, it's
Um,
funny. I mean, I told you it's the video with the highest chance of getting 1 million views on that channel.
well, it's got 7K right now.
It's a long
Someone
play,
said,
10 years.
yeah, 10 years. Someone said, man, I love this company, but some of the ideas for content suck balls. Like it's a it's a Yule Log video.
Yeah. If you don't know what a Yule Log video is, that video sucked.
Yeah. I mean, even if you do, like I was talking with oh man, some of the people I DM, it was either it was Gary Laspiza, our Christmas card friends. And he was like, I watched it for 2 minutes and then my wife was like, what the hell? I can't believe you even click play. And then I got out of there. And I was like, I think that's the proper way to
Yeah.
go about it.
Yep.
Unless you leave it on in the background.
Do you want me
And
to
someone's like, they don't have time for John Boy Jake Radio, but they have time for this. It's like, it was 10 minutes of my time.
after 2 minutes, what do you think the watch time percent is?
Oh, the analytics,
Yeah.
5%.
24 after 2 minutes. It drops to 6% around an hour and then stays there for most of the rest of the time.
Did anyone do timestamps? I thought someone might go through and timestamp like dumb shit
Nobody time stamped.
because that would make people click around. But Panic falls asleep hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's what? It's like 30 minutes of video just looped for 3 hours.
I think it's an hour. I think
An
it's
hour
looped
looped
3
3 times.
times. Yeah.
Because I sat there for, I think, 10 minutes.
Right. Well, that's what that comment was like. They don't have time to do JJTV. I was like, oh, that's 2 hour show. This is 10 minutes. Like, I don't know if that person watched the first 5 seconds, saw it was you and Jake, and were like, they sat there for 3 hours and
Yeah,
we're gonna
maybe.
record JJR.
Yeah. Green screen looks good.
Great. Do you know where that fireplace is from?
Yeah, it's Rob's fireplace. It's a good shot of it.
Somebody else commented that they wondered what I think Fayal might have commented that they're wondering what the BR and I, what the stockings were. Like, why are there letters on them? Like, what does that mean? It's just Rob's family's initials.
Does he know? Does he? It's funny. All right, I'm looking at the chat. Dad duty's call, so Nate's out. I skipped around, but it really was great, said Julia. There's some gold in there. Canobio with boxing gloves using a phone, for example. Yeah, it's funny. I was looking for the part where it loops. I don't know. Nikki with the dolphin was good. And yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just skipped around. But Panic falling asleep, like hard, is really funny. He was asleep.
Yeah, he was. That was good stuff.
Oh man. Why am I getting so many calls? Is it like end of year spam call?
You're getting random numbers.
Yeah. Which automatically I finally I did that if I don't know the number, then it goes silent. The only thing it sucks is for deliveries.
Right.
Let me see. Kyle just texted. Oh. Oh, Dre and Kyle both have After Effects people. We should eventually try to hire someone who's a whiz at After Effects, but I have for the one inning league, I want that intro.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I did my first pitching ninja edit in today's warehouse games.
Oh, that come out today?
It will be coming out, yeah.
I watched it.
Did you see the pitching ninja?
Jax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I did that.
Did you know how?
Decent. I had an idea. I asked Ronnie for the settings that he normally uses, so that it looked the same as the others, but I think it turned out good.
It's pretty easy. It can just really clog up your feed sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
it
doesn't play.
I learned a lot of don'ts by doing them so much in Blitz Battle 1. Like, don't only do those effects on when it's 100%. Like, don't slow-mo, then do it. Like, do it, then slow-mo the whole thing, because it can take 30 times as long.
Yep.
And then just make it big. I do every 3 frames. Like 1, 2, 3, move it. 1, 2, 3, move it. Is that how you did it?
Yep, that's how I did it. I also I think I slowed it down, but I did it when it was fast. So that's good to know. Yeah.
And we have like an effect on all the replays. We make them a different color. They're like
I put that in.
But don't do the effect. Don't do the pitch ninja effect while that's there. Oh shit. I should try the new thing I learned in Premiere with Ronnie beforehand. Interesting. I wonder if it can auto track the ball if it's a good enough shot. Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, that video is coming out later today on Warehouse Games.
Yep.
I'm excited for people to get back to work because the last 2 weeks of December are like everything in YouTube is down.
Yeah.
Across, not just for us, like across the whole internet. It's holidays.
Yep.
It's getting annoying looking at numbers and being like, oh shit, do we suck? And it's like, no, it's just this time of year.
Yep. Nobody's on a normal schedule.
Yeah. Um, that video is exactly what I wanted it to be. The audio is kind of weird because it's hard to edit
Yes.
audio in the warehouse and we didn't have the separate tracks. So that's a bummer. But it's exactly what I wanted it to be. Just like a very casual hangout training session. After seeing it, you edited exactly how I wanted it to be. We get we have to do it more like training session two.
Two. Yes. Agree.
You agree?
Yes, definitely.
Like that was the vision. And we did a bunch of drills in the warehouse, like throwing curveballs around the wall, fielding drills, high pressure pitching, which is funny. And the whole thing was like just a casual practice session,
Yep.
just to keep the channel going in the weeks that don't have tournaments or leagues. And it's a very casual approach. But then the next one that's coming out next week, we played a game. Like everyone was there and we played a game that like had 4 teams and and then a winner and then a championship. That's way better.
Yes. It's just easier to follow. And that's why, like, with the graphics, I was trying to make it so that there was a definitive like goal of each of the little training games.
Yeah.
But you could definitely feel like it does get, there are points I think where it's like, why are we not, why aren't these people getting knocked out or etc. But I like where it landed for
Yeah.
how we did it.
No, it's supposed to be, it is what I thought it was going to be. So we'll see how
Yeah.
people react to it.
Yep.
Like it's just very casual. I do think people that know us will enjoy kind of the casual behind the scenes, just like us hanging out vibe. The goal was like with the thumbnail and the first training session of throwing curveballs around the wall that it would bring in people that don't know us and have no idea who we are. I think those people are not going to get what they clicked for because we don't really address an audience at all.
Yeah.
Or it's not like it's a very YouTubey thumbnail and YouTubey title. Can we throw curves around this wall? But then there's no, what's up, everybody? We're trying to
Yeah.
do this and this and this. Oh, boom. Oh, and like we're not on.
No. That's a
Just
perfect way
chilling.
of saying it. It's nobody's on. It's just everybody's like relaxed, which is good. It's okay. But like,
Yeah.
Like knowing what was shot in the second one, Kenobio is like on the whole time, like joke after joke after joke, like pacing is there, stuff like that.
Yeah. Me and Dalton get into some funny business. But when I
Yeah.
say me and Dalton, I mean just me.
Oh,
Let's see. Tom, with the Yes partnership, this is from the AMP chat. With the Yes partnership, can you guys do a watching old Mike and the Mad Dog best arguments? The new old Yankee Stadium argument is incredible. That would be fun content for talking Yanks, but they don't have the rights to it because it was just a simulcast. Like Mike and the Mad Dog was on Yes Network the same way Talking Yanks is on Yes. It was just a redistribution rights, not original rights. That's WFAN owns those, but I don't even know if they're copyright claiming that audio, and we could like splice it up. But it's a fun idea. You can do a Yanks Talking Yanks, something like that. We gotta. I guess we can wrap up soon. I can keep asking, looking at the chat to see if there's more stuff going on. But
yeah. I'm good to go as long as you are. I don't mind. Ideally we like go for as long as you are good with, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good to keep chatting a little bit. We had a lot of interviews come out over the weekend. Did you see all those?
Yeah, that was exciting. I was wondering when they were coming because I knew that Swisher and Ibanez were there. But I have not watched the Swisher one, which I want to do.
Ball of fire. We didn't even do like and we're here with Nick Swisher.
Right.
He was just talking. And
He's talking.
I just told BB like we're going.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch it. I was there. I don't know when it starts on the episode. Because I didn't know when it started in life. Like, all right, we're just in it. Because me and him were just talking while Jake was still out getting like water. And
Right.
it was like we were going. Like the energy was never. Sometimes people sit down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's get into it. And then it goes. Like he was that way from Zoom open to Zoom close. So
Yeah.
I don't know when BBD started it.
Right. I'm looking now.
But people seem to be liking those. They liked the Sweeney Murdy conversation I had with him. My brother was like, that was good. I like that. And then a lot of other people said it was they enjoyed the conversation. And then the rules committee. I mean, the Talking Baseball comments on the episode about the rules and even some of the Reddit threads, they really liked it. That episode, which is cool to see.
That's awesome. Swisher comes in at 19 seconds and then is there the rest of the time.
What's the first thing he says?
Uh, he says he's in Tampa. Jake asks, "Where are you?" And Nick Swisher says, "Tampa. I'm in Tampa, boys."
So yeah, there was a block. I don't know like what it was. It wasn't anything that you guys are missing out on. I don't think it was just like,
Right.
how are you? Oh,
I like that
we talked
his
about like Arson Judge and that
ah,
Heyman stuff.
right. I like that his background is 2009 championship.
I wanted to give him shit about wearing a red Yankee hat, but I didn't.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I didn't. Tom said really enjoyed the Sweeney Murdy interview. Love old time WFAN talk. Yeah, me too. The rules interview was great. Yeah, I like that. Talking baseball will be very interesting this season because I don't know if I can stay on it. We'll have to see. I really don't think I can do the recap episodes. So we have to figure it out. See if there's a lane for me to do it or not do it, but I don't know. There's other things that I can't let slip company wise
Right.
for that. And Jake and Trev got it. Like that shows did well when I was off.
Yep.
There's other platforms that if I'm doing talking baseball instead of them, they die. And it's much bigger hit for the company. But it sucks, man. Because I also want JJR in a way to come back, never live, because that
Yeah.
was like a anxiety burden.
Yep.
But I would love if, Wednesday mornings, Jake and I just sit in their chairs and BBD hits record and we just play catch up on our lives for half hour.
Right.
And then that goes out. It seems easy enough, but man, it's really not because we're just nonstop. Like if you see the behind the scenes blogs I'm putting out, it's like it's nonstop as soon as you get in. But I'd love for that to come back. I don't know if it
Yep.
can.
No, I agree. I mean, especially like, when you get in, it's a lot of the times like you're trying to do a breakdown and can't. So if then
Yeah.
you add something else in the morning when ideally that would be for a breakdown, yeah, could get tough.
Yeah. But that aspect, people are getting it here where I just catch up. But like me and Jake just kind of bantering about normal shit or like everyday stuff. Like that's not available anywhere right now.
Yeah.
And there was an audience for it. And it was decent. I mean, it wasn't a small show to
Mm-mm.
cut. Like it had a good audience, sold, and then had ads.
Yeah.
But if it takes time away from doing breakdowns, then it's a fucking company killer in a way right now,
Yeah.
which we're trying to build away from that. But
Yep.
oh, I've
Yeah.
been thinking a lot about our pre and post game shows for Blitzball Battle 3, Maddie.
Okay, I like that.
And I'm going to catch up on the chat before I switch subjects because they might be talking about that. Thoughts on redoing the format in season talking baseball? I think Jake really likes the format. So we'll have to have a conversation, but think I'm the odd one out. I'm not enjoying it. Uh, mm, Tom Ace said that would be great about the JJR. I missed that most about JJR's recap. How you guys are doing? Julia says that's why she likes the girls' room. Little weekend catch up. Girls' room has never had me on, Maddie.
A lot of
Rude.
people say that. Like Shackle was like, I've wanted to come on this, but you guys haven't asked. And I don't want to, you can't like go and ask them to go on. It's like
I
in
know
there.
that's a lot of times with like players.
Right.
Like Rodon just did an interview, and I was like, Jake, we should have BBD reach out to whoever to see if he wants to come on. Because a lot of times players are like, yeah, you want to come on? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah. Been
Yeah, I
waiting.
remember like when Tyone got traded, like he was like, yeah, I want to come on. Like,
Yeah.
like you just gotta ask. It's like we never ask.
Yeah. That's
Um,
like, I mean, the girls' room though, that has like a waiting line basically.
wow. Feo says girls' room has also never had Joe's on.
Nope. Their guest episodes do well. Uh Nikki's episode got over 2K on a channel with 1K subs, and Nikki's clip got 10K.
Damn. Yeah, it was
We
very
love
nice that episode. I tweeted about that one because it was nice. I was gonna change the subject to for Blitzball Battle 3 pregame and postgame shows. I was trying to build like the daily schedule of those 5 days of filming.
Mhm.
Do you have the warehouse
Yeah.
2023 production master Google sheet?
Yeah.
You're
I'm in
about to
it.
see a very, very sloppy graph.
BB3? No.
Yeah, go to BB3 and then scroll down to
Oh,
row
yeah.
100.
Yeah, row 100.
I just kind of buried it somewhere because I just was like, I'm just plugging and playing.
Right.
It's going to be tough to do these pre and post game shows with the time. So day 1 and day 2 we have 4 games, but day 3, 4, and 5 only 3 games each.
Yep.
So in day 3 and day 4, I think we'll do a lot of the media day and then a lot of the shorts that we're going to film, like put time for the shorts.
Yep.
Like get the pitching machine and everyone has to like one swing at 100 miles per hour. Like that's a good short.
Yep.
Me and Zoe and Jack are going to build a bunch of the shorts. But anyway, so I was looking at this, looking at a pregame show, and I was like, oh, this is going to be tight. So I came up with some guidelines for us. We're going to put to memory right now because I don't want to forget them. I think pregame show won't have any formal press conference with the players about to be playing.
Right.
And it may not even have their interviews at all, but what we can do is use, clips from the previous games or last tournament, the booth talking about them, their post game. Like we might do introductory press conferences for the first games.
Right.
Really quick. Or Paxton and Kelsey, if she's coming doing sideline, can go during like the BP session and just ask like 1 or 2 questions.
Yep.
Where post game show will rely heavily on the press conference interviews.
Yep.
And replays. But we have to try and figure out how to in like half hour film both, like the post game for the game that just happened, then the pregame for the next game, without killing everyone, Moylan and Rose.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I think what I want to do with you and Zach is pull up a random game from Blitzball Battle 2, watch it, and then all of us separately decide what's the 2 storylines on a post game show to cover here that we need like more insight on.
Yep.
And see what we all land on.
Yeah, because we want to head into the post game press conference with the questions ready. So that's that from the time the game ends, that's immediate. So we have to be coming up with those questions while the game's going.
Yeah, you and Zach and whoever else, like Jolly might be helping you guys. He offered a little bit. We're going to be like note taking topics and questions like as we go.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it because I'm going to go say hi to James and Katie.
Okay.
And then try to work on some breakdowns, maybe, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
makes
Get to
sense.
work a little bit. Thanks everyone for tuning in live on the chat. Appreciate you guys and love chatting with you. And hopefully I'm feeling 100% soon and back in the office Tuesday. Are we doing another morning before then?
If you want, like I'm always down, but I feel like we could just do one Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy New Year's. Bye.